microphone, my phone, and welcome to another video. Today we are listening to Crash from Charli XCX that just came out, and I am very excited to dive into it. It's been highly anticipated for me, especially considering we got good ones. And then I heard New Shapes and Beg For You just once, just enough to like get the impression that I'm still gonna really love this album, which I'm sure I probably will. And I'm very excited to, hear those songs more. Probably gonna watch their music videos either with or without you. Let me know if you want me to watch any of the music videos she's released. But I am very excited to really just dive into this project. It's 12 songs, just over 30 minutes. Seems like a very compact pop leaning record. And I'm really just excited for her Evil Sellout era to really come to a head here. Anyway, I don't have a lot of space on my phone because I just got back from a lovely spring break vacation, just what I needed, but I don't have a lot of space on my phone. So anyway, let's just get into it. Track number 1 is Crash, the album title. Also, I found out that certain songs on the album on Spotify had like a little bit of like Charli talking about them, and I watched them a little bit in advance. They weren't really that spoiling, but apparently this one is a very good introduction to the album, and especially thinking about this as a universe and a concept. I'm about to crash into the water. Okay, the drums are coming in. So legendary. I'm about to crash. I'm high voltage and self-destructive. This has a very old school feel to it. I don't know if I'll be coming back to life again. To crash into the water, gonna take you with me. Come watch me crash. Oh, that's an interesting ending. So that was Crash, and what a way to start the album. Oh, that's stuck in my head already. Oh my god. Yeah, that's gonna be stuck in my head the whole day, for sure. Seems like Crash is about her going into the water and she's gonna take this person with her. I don't know if that's like crashing into love, if that's a crash and that like you're, destroying yourself and reimagining yourself as something different, or if it's, Swiftian and like the mirror ball thing of we love to see all these people crash into a million pieces, like these public figures, like we love to see them crash. And she's just going to indulge us in that here. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. I think the ending felt like an actual crash, which was cool. And I really like the general aesthetics. We are getting a 80s, I don't know if this is 80s in particular, but like good ones did have that like, old flavor as well. And just knowing a little bit of New Shapes, especially when it started playing again, it did feel again kind of throwbacky. And I think here we definitely have the drums feel, I don't know, not from the 2020s. So I'm really vibing with it. I don't know how much I'm going to listen to it, but it is very catchy. So I could really see myself really growing to like it. For now, it's like fine, and I think I just need to hear it again once we've listened to the whole album, so I understand what it's foreshadowing here. Track number 2 is New Shapes featuring Christine and the Queens as well as Caroline Polachek. I love Caroline Polachek a lot, and I'm very excited for when she comes out with a new album as well. Hopefully I can share my reaction to that one with you as well. I've heard this song once, but I don't really know it, and I haven't seen the music video, so let me know if you want me to watch it. I'll give you guys like a week's time after like uploading this before I start diving into these types of things myself. What you want, I ain't got it. Oh, I like that. The percussion coming in. I was pushing for a sweet escape. Me too. I need all night. We could fall in love in New Shapes. This is the chorus. I don't know, it feels like it's missing a little something. This must be Christine and the Queens. Okay, Caroline, come in. You twisted my heart into new shapes. Oh, life would be better if I never met you. Okay. Tagline. Okay, Caroline, bring those angelic backing vocals. Oh, cut off. So that was New Shapes, and I don't know, it wasn't as exciting as I felt like I remembered the first time hearing it, like, casually. Like, I don't really care for it as much. I love Christina the Queen's and Caroline Polachek's part, and like Charli's vocals are great too. I don't know, I feel like the chorus just seems like it's lacking because it's just the what you want, I ain't got it, what you want, and then it's repeated that like twice. I don't know, there's a lot of space in it, and I don't know, that doesn't really click with me. I feel like I would want something a little more anthemic there, I guess. I don't know. I guess I like the song in terms of its lyrical message being that, like, oh, we're falling in love in new shapes, and I guess we're always chasing the new thing. That's what I interpret the song being about, like how you want this person to change, like you're twisting that heart into new shapes, or you're falling in love with this new shape, like a new person or a new version of someone, rather than really loving them for who they've been and who they are in that present moment, that you're always going after that later thing. I think that's how I interpret it, at least. And I think that message makes sense, and I think they're bringing that vibe in and talking about like how, like, you know, there's all this love at play and there's power at play, and like how you might be someone who's instigating that falling in love with new shapes, and this other person is just feeling hurt, like Caroline's role in it, feeling like, oh, I wish I had never met you in the first place because I feel like so heartbroken from this. I think of this in a non-relationship way, like it relates to me in a non-relationship sort of way, just being about like chasing like something that's new and exciting. There's always that, I don't know, not necessarily an emphasis placed on the next big thing, but I think in some capacity in pop culture that is the case. And I also think that generally there's something novel, and like the novelty of something new can be very exciting. And so like just, you know, hearing this new album gets me excited, and there's something novel about it, and so that's why I already really like it, versus, you know, finding those classic favorites that can stand with you for the test of time. So the song gets me thinking. It's all right. It's definitely not a song I like, oh, I will need to hear this, and like I press play on it, but like I'm not gonna skip it on the album. It just isn't something that's blowing me out of the water, except for Caroline's vocals at the end. Incredible. Track number 3 is Good Ones, a song we've heard. We reacted to it on the channel, and I'm excited to just vibe. I get into a whole character here. I'm hooked on touches that leave me weaker. I always let the good ones go. I always let the good ones go. The good ones go. I just need to create choreography to this song. Very much so. I let the good ones go. Period. So that was Good Ones, a song we know, and we know it's all about how she lets the good ones go, or her character lets the good ones go, that she's only used to being with the ones that are bad and, you know, hurt her, and that's all she's really ever known. And so if there's someone who's good, she has to leave them, she has to let them go, because they're, I guess, too good for her, like she just doesn't value herself enough. I guess that's the message of the song. It's a bop. Lead single makes sense. It's a bop. Charli XCX is a mainstream pop girl. I said what I said, and I agree with it. I definitely want to create choreography to this song. I know there's choreography in parts of the music video, and I want to learn that too, and maybe I will. Who knows? You might see a dance video from me to this song at some point, because obsessed, honestly. I know the song is like not new anymore, I guess, by our fleeting, you know, attention spans in the music industry. I know it came out back in September, but wow, it still hits. It's still really good. Track number 4 is Constant Repeat. Okay. There's like a ticking feeling here. it gonna drop. Oh, not as hard as I thought. Ready? And here we go. Okay. You like what I do? You miss the joys of a lifetime? You ever think about the magic in me? Ooh, I like this digital sounds. Could have had a bad girl by your side. Okay. Well, this is like, pick it up. With kind of rare attitude. You could have been brave. Could have been the one that changed your life. Oh, you had to let me go. Got me on repeat. Is this really Charli singing this part? So it was constant and repeat, and that was enjoyable. I liked it. It was definitely like a song I put on in the background, not something that I'm just obsessed with, because I'm not in this mental state right now where someone has just let me go or anything like that. I'm doing well. I'm doing good. This song seems to be honestly like about one of the bad ones that Charli has known, and that's all she's ever known are these bad ones, because she's saying, I could have been that bad girl for you, but you chose to let me go. So I guess in their eyes, she's the good one that's being let go for them. So very interesting for her to change the narrative and how she is perceived by others, or her character is perceived by a different person than the person she's talking about in Good Ones, where she always lets them go, whereas here she's the one that's being let go and feeling like they missed like an opportunity of a lifetime. That ending, that outro was very interesting. It makes this album feel a little less commercial. The got me on repeat, got me on repeat. Like, her vocal of that does not sound like her. So if she either sampled that, got someone to sing it for her, or she just sang it herself and she just is that versatile as a singer, good for her. Yeah, it sounds, I don't know, there's something haunting about it. And yeah, I really think it adds a little more flavor to the song. I like it overall. It's good. Definitely isn't gonna be like the same bopping that like Crash or Good Ones has given me, but I think it's meant to be more of a chiller dance track so that you can get hype for, you know, Beg For You and some of the other songs that I'm sure are bound to become big bops that we'll see in due time. Track number 5 is Beg For You featuring Rina Sawayama. I did my darndest to avoid like spoilers on this song. It was very difficult. I follow both Rina and Charli on Instagram. It's very difficult. They had a lot of promo for it. I haven't watched the music video yet, but I have heard the song exactly once. I know generally what the chorus sounds like, but I'm still going to be surprised when it goes through my speakers, probably, because it has still been a minute, and I've been kind of away from music for a week or so. So I'm sure it'll surprise me still. Oh, I did not remember this intro at all. Make out under the bathroom lights in the airport? You got me obsessed. Don't make me beg for you, cause I'll beg for you. Yeah, this is slick, production-wise. Yes, Rina, come in. I need that second album. Oh, this part, yes, beautiful. Oh, I didn't remember the Don't Leave Me part. Yeah. So it was Beg For You. A bop. Registered bop. I'm glad it's a cool collaboration between two people I really admire in the industry. Charli XCX with all her experimentation and her just pop perfection. And Rina Sawayama, relatively a newcomer in terms of at least like stardom and people like actively knowing her. And she has just blossomed, and I don't know, I love her. Rina, love her so much. And I really hope we get her second album later this year. I know she's on tour right now, so I bet she'll probably wait till after the tour. But, oh my god, when that happens, you know I will make a video. The song seems also kind of like a continuation of the Constant Repeat, except for that it's not as past tense, it's that they've left, but they're still in some sort of relationship. But they're definitely the one who pines after them a little more. It feels like a pop beer version of like Come Back Be Here from Red, Taylor's version, of course, but the original too, I guess, holds up for that. But like that feeling of they've traveled, they got on a plane, and you just can't see them for a while. And long distance sucks. It really does. And so I feel for, you know, Charli and Rina in this song, that they're really begging for their lover to come back and be with them. And so, yeah, it's a bop. Randomly reminds me of growing up and sometimes like staying at a cousin's house, like just randomly in the middle of nowhere. The song doesn't sound like that. It doesn't sound country, and it doesn't sound like that. I think it's just like the 2000 nostalgia and like the music I could hear on the radio at that time. That's my guess for that, but I just have a very distinct association with this. Overall, I like it. Still doesn't hit the same as like a Good Ones, but I am, you know, holding out that a lot of the later half is gonna keep us bopping. With that, track number 6 is Move Me. I hope it moves me. Oh, this is like kind of fast and slow at the same time. Take a good thing and I break it. Something about the way you move me. Something about the way you save my life. Okay, drama. Call it what you want. I think this song is a great example of how Charli can really sing. Ooh, this is beautiful here. So it was Move Me. That felt like a minute. I know it's only 2.5 minutes, so it's not a long song by any means, but it really felt like I had just heard a very long extended chorus and then it just kind of ended. It just like passed by very quickly for me. I think it was that mix of that feeling that made it feel like it was going fast but also slow at the same time. It's a very interesting feeling. I felt like I was weightless, very light and airy, almost like I was on a plane a little bit, but without like the loud noises that can be on a plane. I know that from flying home recently, that even like a pair of my headphones at full volume, sometimes I can't even hear the music. It's ridiculous. This song I'm a little less clear about what it's about. It's something about the way you move me and you know, save their life and, you know, hold her body tight and everything like that. That's what the whole thing is about. But I think she's mentioning she's pushing them away or something like that, like in her self-destructive nature, which she has talked about in some of the other songs that we've heard so far. And yeah, I think this song is definitely, you know, a little ballad-like moment on the album. Definitely a song that really allows her to showcase her vocals. I like it. It's not the insanely fast, very catchy bop that I think I'm looking for generally, like going into this project, but it is still a song I'm going to want to return to. It's still a song that I think has potential to really grow on me. And I think that's what's just going to happen, I think, with a lot of the songs that I've heard so far on it, is that I just need to hear them a few more times, especially in some really good headphones, to really like dive in deep and really get into the era. Track number 7 is Baby. I know she released a song prior to the album dropping. I think she also performed this one on SNL as well when she got her, you know, recovered time after the first one basically got canceled for her. So I'm glad she got that new time. I haven't seen her SNL performances yet. I'll either watch them with you or without you. Again, let me know if you want me to react to them for you guys, or if it's cool if I just react to it by myself. Again, I'll give you all a week. But yeah, so we're gonna listen to Baby now for the first time. Oh, that's an interesting intro. Baby. That too. Oh shoot, this percussion, Baby. Whoa. Leave you wanting more. can see it in your eyes. Oh, cut yourself off. Oh, it's I'm gonna make you my baby. No, I'm about to change your life for good. Baby. Hey. I just want to say baby. Oh, you're just really repeating that line. So that was baby. That's what I was looking for. I love that song. Or straight to the top. This song is about I'm gonna be your baby. I'm you up. Cause you know I'm that bad girl. I love her. I love Charli. I love this song. It's so fast. There's so many small components in it that make it reminiscent of hyperpop, with it still being like a jazzy, groovy throwback, like ready for today's music. And you can really get into it even if you know you're not necessarily a standard Charli XCX fan. I think the song has that potential to just be listened by the casual listener. But oh, this song just, it goes so hard. It has no reason to be that much of a bop, but it is. Why? How does it do it? I don't know. Well, I see that there's a lot of components in it. It was definitely one of those songs that was worked on and had like a lot of like, we're gonna put all these things in. And I think that really does a lot for her. I feel like some of this like evil sellout era is bringing, you know, more reduced non-hyper pop feels to things. Like I think Good Ones is a good example. They have like the synths and the electronic parts to it, but it is, you know, similar in that it's like a top line and like traditionally probably, and just has like this general like chord structure, whereas this is like doom 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 doom, and like this is all these different components, all these different percussive elements, all these different like vocal samples just getting added, like the woo and the baby and the I'm you up, just that stuff being repeated over and over. It's really good. I like all those components. It gets my adrenaline pumping. It gives me that dopamine. I want to listen to this song over and over. This is what I was waiting for. Track number 8 is Lightning, which I believe was produced by the producer who largely produced part of her True Romance era many years ago. So this song might be a nod to an earlier time period in Charli's career. Uh-oh. Don't know what to say. Spiraling all over the place. Heartbreaker when you hit me once. You strike me down like lightning, and wow, we picked up. Yeah, we got struck by lightning here. Now we're dancing somehow. I'm gonna give it to you like lightning. Yeah, this makes me dance. This kind of feels a little like Sky Ferreira, Blame Myself vibes. Ooh, that's strumming. This kind of gives almost the New Shapes vibes. I don't know, in the way that there's different vocals in the background. La 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 lightning. The la la la. Huh? Yeah, this is Caroline Polachek vibes. Oh, it does remind me of So Hot You're Hurting My Feelings. Now I'm thinking about it. Oh, storm cloud at the end. Nice touch. So that was Lightning. And, interesting. I was so, I'll be honest, I was kind of tuned out at the beginning. That very, I don't know, just that nearly like acoustic sounding, just like quiet, just non-rhythmic, just like, oh, shooting stars in the sky and we're existing here, and then we get struck by lightning, lightning, and then it's like, oh, okay, like I wasn't expecting that. And yeah, I think especially at the beginning I was like, oh yeah, this does kind of feel like some of her older work, because I feel like I don't remember any of the songs that were on the True Romance. I felt like they were kind of ambient to a degree. Like some of them like have that rhythm to it, I'm sure. I haven't listened to True Romance in years, actually, unfortunately. But yeah, like I was like, oh yeah, that reminds me of that. But then we got into when the beat hits. It hits. I mean, this is nearly 4 minutes. So you do get the majority of the song still in that, you know, that beat. But it took so long to get there. I was just not expecting it, honestly. It was just such a switch. I can definitely see this feeling very nostalgic, even on a first listen. It does remind me of Caroline Polachek. It does remind me of Sky Herrera. It has like this vibe that a lot of these, I don't know if I would call them indie pop, but like definitely like not the people that are recognized as mainstream pop, but like still like in the pop scene and relatively well known. Like, yeah, like these types of pop artists, like it does have that sound to it, and it's really good and it's very catchy. And you know, the song just is about, you know, finding someone that strikes you like lightning and gets you electrified and, you know, feeling like that adrenaline again, much like with Baby. Even though this is a brand new Charli song, it feels like it could have come out in Charli's early career. It does feel that way, and I'm excited that she's still embracing older versions of her music, as well as some of her, you know, new aesthetics. And I'm hoping we get a little experimentation. I mean, there is experimentation on, especially with Baby, but like it's made to make that experimentation almost in a mainstream way, if that makes sense, rather than experimenting and then, you know, going off the rails like in that how I'm feeling now, if that makes sense. Track number 9 is Every Rule. Oh, this also starting slow. I still don't trust it though. I was with somebody else as well. Oh, are they gonna cheat? Sneaking around, falling deep in love. I'm breaking every rule for you. These moments really set me free. This is definitely an eyes closed vibe. Oh, there was like almost a crash symbol at the end. So is Every Rule. I'm not gonna lie, I felt relaxed and calmed during that song. The sleepy number, honestly. It's slower, definitely is slower. I guess I can trust that it is slow throughout the song. And this song is about her, or her character, and this other person cheating on their lovers with each other. And they're falling so deep in love. I get that those moments set her free or whatever, but again, she understands, she is aware that she is hurting someone else in that process. And the simple way to go about this, it's relatively simple. It's not necessarily easy, but it's simple. And you go up to the person that you're cheating on and saying, hey, I'm like so sorry, but I found someone else. And that's not easy for that person to hear. I'm not trying to minimize that type of experience, but if you're following your heart in such a way and you're doing those actions that are hurtful, but you don't want to cease those actions and realize, hey, like the person you're currently with is the one you want to see, if that's not the case, then you need to let them go. You need to let that good one go. You can't just be bad to them and expect that they can just take it or just not understand or like know that it's happening. It's hurtful. I'm not someone who has been cheating on, so I can't speak from personal experience, and I haven't cheated on anyone, so I can't speak from that experience either. But the culture about like cheating and not, and like romanticizing cheating or romanticizing like how that other person feels and like understanding, it is just easy in my head that you should, you know, tell that person how you're feeling. I think open communication is very important in a relationship. And if you are having thoughts about other people, you don't act on those thoughts until, you know, you've had those thoughts shared with that person. And if it's something that you don't think they'll want to hear, like, you should be in a supportive relationship where you're free to express your thoughts, even if they are uncomfortable for that other person to hear. Like, that is what a relationship is. It's talking through those issues. And so, yeah, definitely don't really care that much for this song, just because it's about an experience I'm never going to have. It's not an experience I plan on having anytime. And yeah, it's also just slow and quiet and not really that engaging. It does feel like a song I've heard before, but I don't know. Again, this album does have this feeling of like nostalgia with, you know, Charli sound plus nostalgia of elsewhere. That's what's on trend right now, and it's also, I think, a type of sound that Charli is very good at making, and so I'm glad that she's doing that. But this is definitely one of those takes on a quieter, you know, ballad from like that nostalgic period, and I don't really care for those as much as the ones that make me want to dance, which seems like our track number 10, Yuck, just from the few 2 seconds I heard. We're gonna get there again. So with that, let's get into Yuck. Ooh, that, I don't know, it felt like a wave. I'm such a hypocrite. Candlelight on the starry night. Yuck, I love how she says that. Sending me flowers, I'm just trying to get lucky. Oh. Catch me if you can. Yuck. So that was Yuck. I was excited about this song from the moment I saw that this was the title of a song. Just because I don't think I've heard of a song called Yuck. And it just feels like a word that will just be very satisfying to hear Charli XCX in particular say. And I was right. This song seems to be about Charli, or the speaker's lover, or encounter, fling, or whatever, getting a little more romantic than Charli is interested in being. Like, she's just trying to get lucky. This is just kind of a hookup situation, it seems like. But this bad boy is getting all mushy. And it's making her blush, and she's not really having that. So it seems like it's a mix between Yuck and like Get Out. Like, I don't want this romantic talking and all this type of stuff, but also like she kind of does like it, and she's kind of falling for this person at the same time, just in that idea of the blushing and the blood starts rushing and having those other types of emotions that can be associated with a person that, you know, you're encountering in that way. I think Charli XCX is a great candidate for this type of character portrayal. It does remind me a little bit of like OMG What's Happening from Ava Max. I felt like that's a similar vibe in terms of like the lyrical material, but it is also very catchy. Definitely fits sonically with the rest of the album. This feeling of throwback, like synth pop. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it in musical terms, but there definitely is a sonic trend throughout the album that is being followed pretty well, which makes the album very cohesive. And if you like some of them or any of the songs in the album, you're gonna like probably most of them if you are here mainly for the sound versus the lyrics. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. I like the song. I think it's a fun jam. Again, not necessarily meant for like a single material, but like it doesn't have to be a single material. It can just be, you know, the album's material. Track number 11 is Used to Know Me, which Charli XCX warned listeners is a total pop. So I hope she's right. Oh, okay. Used to know me, now you don't. Oh, this gets me grooving immediately. Think I lost myself before? I did to change my life because I knew you'd say the same. You used to know me, now you don't. So she changed her life, but they haven't. I don't need to kiss goodbye. I'm on my own. This instrumentation is good. Know me, now you don't. Oh, it cut out and I thought it was the end, but it was not the end. So that was Used to Know Me. I feel like this song could have been like the lead single instead of Good Ones. Like I feel like she had to pick between those two, and she picked Good Ones, and I'm okay with that. But especially with it being like, you know, this new character that she's portraying, like it could have been You Used to Know Me, like telling the fans and listeners, you used to know me, now you don't. And then it's like, you know, something that sounds completely different. And it sounds really good. I love this production. It's so fun. I think she mentioned that she mainly top-lined it so that this production came first, and then she just added her lyrics in. And it sounds really good. It sounds clean. It sounds fresh. Yeah, it sounds wonderful. And I don't really have much to say about it. It's a good time. It's a fun time. The song is about saying, hey, we used to be like together, but now I've changed my life. I've changed my priorities, and you're no longer in my life. And I don't need a kiss goodbye from you. I'm doing better on my own, and I'm moving on. And I feel like that works with, you know, her bad girl energy that she's trying to bring to this album. And it also just is really fun. So no complaints here. Definitely a song I will see myself vibing with for a while, for sure. It's not something that I think is unique to Charli as much as like Baby was. Like that feels like a very unique song that like only a select few can make. But I really like Used to Know Me too. So I'm not like discounting it. Yeah, it sounds really good. Track number 12, the last track on this album, is Twice. Don't Think Twice. Got me feeling so scared. Gotta appreciate life. Yeah. All the things I love are gonna leave me. Yikes. So then I'm diving off the deep end. This feels almost like robotic to an extent. Let my body ascend. So one day I'm never gonna be there. Oh, that's a ship sonically. That sounds like Caroline a little bit. I think it is still Charli, but definitely has a Polachek element. That's the end. So it was Twice, and that song gave me an existential crisis. I did remember, I realized I did hear that the song was about like, you know, the world ending, and that if or when that happens, like how you'd look back on life and how you're gonna feel. And that means it gave me an existential crisis. Definitely Last Words of a Shooting Star from Mitski vibe. I know if there is crossover between Mitski and Charli XCX on this channel, if that happens, good, exciting, we love that. This gave me that energy, even though it's theoretically much more of a, I don't know, a traditional sounding bop. I'm trying to figure out if this song is satirical or genuine. I think, like, are you supposed to not think twice and just live your life? Or are we supposed to, you know, bring much more appreciation and actually like critically think about what we're doing and valuing our time in that way? I don't know. Like I can't figure out if we're just supposed to dive in, like if that's like the idea, or if we think that that diving in doesn't give us the time to actually utilize our time effectively in a way that, like, you know, allows us to both enjoy ourselves but also bring, you know, betterness to others as well. As I'm speaking it aloud, I think just the When I'm Never Gonna Be There, definitely like just living your life and vibing. And I think that fits with both the character as well as like Charli and like her personal life of this is her last record like with her company, like the label that she's with. And so like, you know, she could be doing this big giant thing and put so much pressure on herself to make this like the biggest album she can possibly make, you know, to give her options after she leaves this company. Or she can just live her life, not think twice about it. It's really letting herself go and setting herself free. So yeah. Oh wait, is Good Ones like her label? I always let the Good Ones go. I don't know. I don't know what her relationship with her label actually is. Like if she hated being with them or if the label is over being with her. I don't really know. I have no idea. But like, yeah, I don't know. There's definitely some weaving of the characters versus just Charli herself here throughout the album, but also here. And I'm intrigued about like what it all actually means, how much of it is genuine, how much of it is satirical. I know that Charli can think very critically about these types of things, so I'm wondering how critical she went here. In terms of sonics and also just the lyricalness, I don't know if I'm going to want to listen to the song much. It's gonna probably give me a mild existential crisis. I already felt a little stressed like listening to it the first time, and so now that I know where it's gonna go, it's still gonna be a little more stressful. So I don't know if I'd like it. The production on it is also just not my favorite of the whole thing. It gives me a little bit of like an up tempo every rule, and that still wasn't my production style. So in the general thing, it's just not gonna be the one I'm going to turn to most, if at all. With that, we have finished the album. I'm so happy I got to listen to it with y'all today on launch day. I love it. Yeah, I like many tracks of this really a lot. There's several I just like, and then there's gonna be one or two that are just not gonna be my thing, and that's okay. Charli makes a lot of different music, and she likes to push the boundaries on things, and she also has a lot of different ideas that she likes to toy with. She's not always concerned about like 2 themes or 3 themes. She's really is just making music for her as well as for the future of music, and I really like seeing where she goes. She can make a bop when she wants to. Good ones. Baby, Used to Know Me are the 3 that like immediately stuck out to me. But there's some other songs on here that I bet will grow on me, especially as I really turn to them and I turn to more of the era as a whole and dive into that more. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited to see. I have plenty of friends who like Charli XCX and like these types of artists that are a little more experimental pop. And so I'm excited to see what they think about this project and see like their opinions on it. I'm really excited to see your opinions as well if you share them in the comments below. I'm very curious to see how this album ends up being received, how it ages, how it can be heard in better headphones, because you know Charli XCX is a producer also, so I think you know her like takes on production are always really incredible, and I'm very excited to see how it all turns out. I don't know if I really see a world with this album. I think I see like this bad girl chick who doesn't really want love. She wants this intimacy and these flings and hookups rather than, you know, this romanticness. And I think, you know, she cheats. She's a little bit on the dangerous side and the bad news side. And I don't really know if like that necessarily constitutes a whole world, but it does create characters, and I think that is really cool. And it's really cool to see her really embody that in her last record. Her last record with her label, that is. I hope she is signing somewhere else and is also going to continue making music. I don't want her last song that I hear to be about, you know, the end of the world. I doubt that she's quitting music. I highly doubt that. She doesn't seem like the type who would. She was like the first to make a quarantine album. I don't think she's ever going to do that. With that said, here are some of my favorites. The top tier of the songs I love, the standouts, the ones that are going to be playing over and over. Songs in the middle are songs I like. I'll add them to my playlist, but they might not be the top of the top. And songs at the bottom are just not really my thing. Doesn't mean they're a bad song. Doesn't mean they can't be your favorite. Just means it's not for me, and that's okay. Charli XCX did not make this album exclusively for me. If you like this video, please like it, comment down below, show what you're react to next. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already and you'd like to be. And thanks for watching. This is TurtleStormer. Catch you later.
Get out of the dark and get into my heart. You gotta do your part for a brand new start. Don't it just feel right? Looking in my eyes until we see the light. Dance with me tonight. Think it's pretty obvious.